Hi YouTube, Kirby here. Today I have with me my handsome and talented assistant, J-Boogie. Tell the people hello, J-Boogie.
Hi.
And today we're going to be teaching you how to make one of my favorite coffee treats. It's called, well, J-Boogie, do you remember what it's called?
Freddo Cappuccino.
Freddo Cappuccino, that's right. Yeah, where does it come from?
Greek.
Yeah, it's Greek, that's right. It's a Greek coffee drink. It's a frozen cappuccino. Now, we're not professional baristas, so we're going to do the best we can with what we've got. We're under quarantine too, so it's not like we can go rushing out and grab all the supplies we need. But I think we can come close to getting an authentic Freddo cappuccino with just what we have in the kitchen here. So we're going to go through all the ingredients. It's just 4 ingredients in a Freddo cappuccino. Do you remember what they are, J Boogie?
Sugar.
Sugar,
Ice.
ice.
I don't remember.
What's in here?
Oh. I don't know.
That's coffee, because it's a coffee drink, right?
Sugar, ice, coffee.
And I bet you know what this is.
And milk.
And milk. That's it. He got it. All right. Give him a cigar, folks. All right. We don't smoke in this house, do we? No. Okay. A metaphorical cigar. All right. So besides those 4 ingredients, right, we need a few other things to actually put these things together, right? It's not so much what goes into the Freddo cappuccino that makes it special. It's the way that these ingredients are mixed that makes it special.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. So what else do we have here on the table for the people to see?
Coffee mixer.
Yeah, we have, this is an Aero Latte brand frother, but you could probably pick up just about any brand on Amazon. All right. Good. What else?
2 cups. 1/4 of a cup.
A fourth of a cup.
And
Right.
a whole cup.
This is a tablespoon. Right. Right. Good. What's this? I know you know this one.
A spoon.
A spoon. Good. And then what do we have here?
A tiny cup.
A tiny cup. That's right. This is 1 ounce, right? And we're not actually going to be using this today, but I wanted to show this to you so you can understand what we're talking
This
about
is a
with the
big
measurements.
cup.
All right. So should we start?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you need to do when you're making a Freddo cappuccino is start with espresso. 2 shots of espresso. That's 1 ounce. A shot of espresso is 1 ounce. So 2 of this size. Now, if you don't have an espresso machine at home and you're under quarantine like us and can't rush out and get one, right, you can use just about any kind of coffee to do this. If you have a French press, you can do that. If you, even instant coffee, it will work. You just want to make sure that you use 1/4 of a cup, that's 2 ounces, right, to prepare your Freddo cappuccino, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. So the key to making a good Freddo cappuccino is to make sure that all the layers are separate, right? So you want to have the espresso on bottom, right? You want to have a nice frothy coffee head on top of that espresso, and then you want to have your whipped milk as the top layer, right? It's really pretty when you do it the right way, isn't it? It goes from brown to tan to white.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Because
So
brown and white make tan.
good, because brown and white make tan. That's right. He's learning the color wheel, everybody. All right, so we're gonna start with the coffee. Now, the way to make sure that everything stays separate is to keep your ingredients really cold. Now, obviously, when you make coffee, it comes out hot. So what we've already done is we've added our sugar, and there are 2 ways to really make a Freddo cappuccino, right? In Greece, they say you can either have medium sweet, right, or you can have too sweet. We would probably say, right, sweet and extra sweet would be the way that we would probably say it here in the States. All right, so if you want your sugar to melt, you have to actually put it in when the coffee's still hot, right? So right after you draw the espresso shots or right after you mix your instant coffee, pour a tablespoon of sugar in if you want it medium sweet, or 2 tablespoons if you want it extra sweet, right? Too sweet. Make sure that that mixes up really nicely, right? And then put your coffee in the refrigerator or in the freezer. We've had this one in the refrigerator for a little over an hour now, so it's nice and cold. Feel it.
No, that's really cool.
That's really cold, yeah. if you don't have that much time and you really want to have your treat now, there are a couple of things you can do. You can put it in the freezer, right? And sometimes when things get put in the freezer, we don't always get to them right away. And an espresso pop is still a nice thing to have, but not quite as nice as a Freddo cappuccino, right? That's right. Good. So putting it in the fridge if you have some extra time works. If you want to really speed up the process, you can use a shaker like this, or really any kind of mixing glass. Right? Put some ice in there and make sure that you're cooling down your espresso. The problem with that is that if you use ice with hot espresso, it's going to water down your coffee. So use that sparingly. All right, good. So cold coffee, we need that to start with. All right, and this is the time when we use our Aero Latte. Are we ready? All right, so what you want to do with your cold sugared coffee, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
I don't know, YouTube. Should we let him try? Okay, can you do it without splattering? Okay, good. So we'll let you give it a shot. All right, I think I'll hold the cup here though. All right, and you just turn that Aero Latte on. Good. Get it in there. Ooh, it's starting to splatter. Oh. All right. Can I take a look and see what we've got? Oh, that's actually pretty good, J-Boogie. Let's do a little bit more, okay? Just to make sure we get a nice frothy head on the top of this espresso. All right? What you can do for the people is you can take that cup of ice, that glass of ice there. See it on the table in front of us?
Yeah.
All right, and you can pour it into our cappuccino glass. All right. Excellent.
That's a bunch of ice.
That is a bunch of ice. In fact, that might be a little bit too much ice. What you want is to have enough to cover about half of whatever glass you're using. So maybe we'll drop a few of these ice cubes back in. Yeah, that's actually about perfect. We'll put that there for the people to see. And shout out to Darcel XV Show House in Portland for providing the glass. All right, so we've got our ice in there. We've got our espresso with a nice whip. Let's give it just another hit just to make sure. All right, is that looking good to you?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
It looks like hot chocolate, kind of.
It does kind of look like hot chocolate, but this is hot chocolate for grown-ups, isn't it? Yeah, we don't let nobody your age should be drinking caffeine. You're already bouncing off the walls as it is. All right, so we'll put this slowly into our glass. Great. Notice I tilted the glass so that we could keep that foam on top. All right, so that's step one. All right, we've got our espresso down here at the bottom.
Now we have brown
right?
and tan.
And we've got our tan frothy head on the top of that, right? And you want that there to keep when you whip the milk and pour it in, you don't want it to mix with the espresso at the bottom, right? So you need this buffer, right, to keep those two things from mixing. All right, so now we'll whip the milk. All right, and you know what I forgot, J-Boogie? I forgot to get us a straw. So do you think you could go grab us a straw over there from behind the camera? They're in that box there. Do you see them? The white and blue box? Now, you don't have to have a straw, but next to the napkins. Yeah, there you go. All right. You don't have to have a straw, folks, but I always like to use the straw to kind of mix up the layers once I get the Freddo in my hands. So great, you've chosen a straw. It's a green one. Why don't you set it there next to the ice glass, and in a minute we'll put that in the glass once we have this milk nice and frothy. Now, when you're making the whipped milk here, you want to make sure that it's nice and cold. I usually put this in the freezer too, unless I'm watching both J-Boogie and Little Sister, right? Then I usually just leave it in the fridge and get to it when I have a chance. In the back of the fridge is a good idea so that it gets nice and cold. The colder the better. It'll keep it nice and separated. What do you think, J-Boogie? Is this looking good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the consistency we want, right? So now we need to take our spoon. Where did our spoon go? Oh, I see it there.
Right there.
All right. So we take our spoon, we take our glass, and we just take whatever little bit of frothed milk that we have so far, and we put that gently on top. Okay. And I'm using.
Making this get hot?
Yeah, we're gonna do the rest in just a second. I'm using only 3 tablespoons of milk, and you want to use whole milk or something even fattier than that. If you have access to heavy cream or to half and half, that works even better. But since little sister likes to have whole milk in her bottle, we're using that, and you can get a decent froth with just whole milk. All right, so we're just about finished here. All right, we'll set that to the side, and we'll pour the rest on top. All right, there we go. Now, let's put the straw in. J-Boogie, thank you. And there you have it. That's a Freddo Cappuccino, a quarantine edition. All right, tell the people bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Be sure to like and subscribe.